Hello, welcome to Dr. Abayomi Ajayi Live. And today is the Valentine special. My name is still Dr. Abayomi Ajayi, by the way. Yes, and if you notice, it's a full house in the studio today. And to do justice to this episode, I have a special anchor, Tola Ajayi. She'll be handling taking most of the questions. So don't worry, I'm just going to be a spectator today, except if I need to come in. And I have a special couple in the house, and they are going to be telling us about their experience. They've been through it all, and they're so nice that they want to share their experience with you. So you just stay tuned. Please ask any question you want to ask. We're sure we'll be able to answer most of them. And if we cannot answer them, we'll let you know. Anyway, so I hand over to Tola. Please take over from here.
Good evening, viewers. It's my pleasure to welcome Victor and Ngozi dearly this evening to share their experience with us. So let's go on.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Victor Diali, and that's my wife,
Ngozi Diali.
And we're truly honored to be here, to be part of the Nordica story and the Nordica family.
Thank you so much. So let's go straight. How long have you been married?
So we've been married almost 20 years. So
wow.
Yeah, so August 26.
Yes.
August 26 this year will make it 20 years. We got married in 2000.
Wow.
We wanted to be year 2000 compliant.
And it's year 2020. Yeah. So 20 years in August. That's cool. That's cool. So I know you waited for some time. How long did you wait? This journey that we're talking about, the fertility journey, how long did you wait before you had a child?
Waited 10 years before our daughter. She came in 2010. Then 18 years altogether for our son.
Wow.
We had him in 2018.
Wow. 2010 and 2018. Wow. I know you must have gone through a lot, having waited for so many years. So can you share your experience? How was the journey? You know, the challenges individually and as a couple. Let me start with Victor, because for the man, how did you cope?
Yes, I mean, just like I have some friends who are also waiting, and I know that generally it's tough for the women, but it's also tough for the men, especially because of our society. So for me, it wasn't such a challenge for me, and I'm not belittling, the difficulty in conceiving, but because even though we were having this challenge, we were waiting, every year, you try to have a child and it's not coming, the second year is not coming, the third, so, and every month when the monthly cycle comes and goes, it's really tough. We had painful times, we had crying moments and all of that. But I had sort of settled it in my mind even before I got married that this would not be a challenge for me. So that really helped me to cope. I would say it was a major decision that I took. Before we got married, I had settled it. I had, in praying and thinking about marriage, I had said to myself, what if children don't come? What would you do? And I was able to settle that to say, marriage for me is not really about having children. Marriage is basically about the person that I'm getting married to and the love that we share. And for me, that was paramount. Children were just an additional blessing, I would say.
Yeah.
So it was quite.
What about Ngozi? I know women will face a lot of issues when it comes to challenges of infertility. So how did you cope?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. But the good thing is that my husband was always by my side. I had in-laws who were supportive. There were trying moments where I think I actually had the problem of worrying and thinking and crying. I had people around me who always told me, it will be okay, children will come. My mother-in-law will always tell me, looking at you, that children are in your body, you will have children. My husband would tell me, if you go to heaven, God give you a crown because of children. So, but it was still tough But at the end of the day, thank God we're smiling now.
Was there any time that sex became
No, sorry, before you go to that, I want us to look at it. Because Victor is sounding, that's not normal for
macho?
an African guy. But it's okay, but I know the story, so I know
Yeah.
it's not,
Yeah.
it's telling the truth. But the aspect I want us to look at is the family. Okay. You were lucky, like you say, your mother, that's not the typical story.
Yes,
Not
yes,
at all.
yes.
So, have you, maybe not your own experience, maybe a friend, did you see anything that was contrary to your own experience? So that would make you to be able to actually glorify what
Yes,
God did
Yes,
for you.
yes, yes. I have a friend actually who lost her marriage
Aha.
because of this having children. She lost her marriage. The husband drove her out of the house, and I don't think he still has a child now.
Wow.
So compared to mine wasn't like that. I thank God for that. I had in-laws who were supportive. Not one day did anybody come to knock on my door asking me how come you don't have children now. So it wasn't really bad in that aspect. But on my own as a woman, I just wanted to have children. I wanted to have children for my husband.
Wonderful.
I mean, I've also heard stories about women who have been who have found it very difficult even to live in their own homes, you know, because of in-laws. You know, the mother-in-law would come to the house every month or every few months and would check the tummy of the woman if it's not protruding, she begins to
checking whether she's spitting or
yes,
something.
you know, and if it's not
Excessively.
happening, they're telling their son,
Yeah.
are you married to another man? You know, we want you to give us a child.
Sure.
I know that is a typical thing that
Mm.
happens, but somehow we are very blessed because my parents, her parents, really did not give us any trouble, and I also
Yeah, I wanted to say that.
made it clear to my parents, right, that was not something they could do. You know, from my body language and from the way I spoke about it,
I think that's very,
very important.
important,
Yes,
very important.
They saw that I would not support them doing that kind of thing. So they just supported us with prayers and with words of encouragement. And
Most
that really helped.
times, because what I've noticed that most times when parents-in-law, when they come in, to talk about the challenges that their children are having in marriages, the men will decide to keep quiet
Yes.
and not be able to confront them. I think that's usually the problem. The
Yes,
men
yes.
should be able to come out to say, hey, my mom, please, my dad, let us solve our problems ourselves. We're doing something about it, so your anxiety will not help us. Yeah.
I always tell my mom, for example, Mommy, your job
Is to
is
pray.
to pray for us.
Exactly.
That's what I
That's
say.
it.
Your job is to
That
pray
is
for
to
us,
pray,
nothing
yeah.
else.
Nothing else.
That's really the best thing they can do. Please like and share this video on your timeline so that you don't keep this knowledge to yourself alone. Okay? And there will be Adetuji, Adam, Nwachuku, Sharon, Opanachi, Opeoluwa, Oshikoya. Thank you for joining on Facebook.
Also, I know that while waiting, number one issue is sex.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. Yes. So, how did you cope? Because I know that at a time, sex becomes routine. It becomes like you are
A chore.
marking your calendar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, let me call my husband. I think I'm ovulating today. Did you experience such things?
I will tell you about that. Yes, it did get to that point.
Wow.
It got to that point that
We even leave the office.
she would tell me it's time, and I found out that it wasn't really helping me.
It wasn't really.
I was becoming worked up, I was becoming stressed
You
about
might not
it.
even be able to have erection
And-
when you get home.
Honestly, there were
Yeah.
times when, because of the pressure,
Yeah.
I wouldn't get it up.
Yeah.
And then she becomes more worried.
Yeah.
And then she's crying, and I'm like, no, there's no problem here. Just take it easy. At a point, I said to her, let's just enjoy ourselves.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's just have fun.
that's lovely. That's
There are people who
wonderful.
don't mark the calendar,
Mhm.
and they have children.
Yeah.
So let's just have fun. It will happen in the course of life.
Wonderful.
Wow. I've known you guys for quite a while, maybe like 13, 6 or so.
2007.
Yeah, I've known you guys for quite a while, and I know the way you relate. I know, and that's why I feel comfortable bringing you here to share your story, because I know that you are into each other. That's what I would say, and thanks to him.
Yes, yes.
Thanks to him. Now, how did you maintain the spark during the difficult times? That spark, how did you keep it alive?
I think the spark came after what he just told you, that let's just enjoy ourselves. So it wasn't really more about having children. It was not like, this is my husband, I'm the wife. I don't have to do anything that will make him look out. So I started taking care of myself more, no more crying like I used to do before, and doing what will make him happy.
Like what?
Dressing well, getting something doing, because all I did then was just be in the house. I refused to work, so I had to come out, get a job, and I got a job, and I started taking care of myself.
How did you take care of yourself? I want you to elaborate.
I
on
was dressed
to
well.
break it down.
I was always watching my weight.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like it was when we first met.
Good.
Not because I'm looking for a child and I will just let myself go like that.
Wow. So
We were always doing things together.
Oh.
I think once a month we go to a hotel, spend the weekend, come back, have dinner together. Once a month to go out.
Mm.
We traveled together too.
Yeah, we travel together sometimes, yes.
What about you?
Well, for me, one thing she didn't tell you is that one of the things she did to keep the spark was cook afang soup. Afang soup. Afang.
The way to
Afang.
immerse her.
Yes. Because, at some point,
Oh, you are not Carabana.
no, I'm half Cross River.
Okay.
My mother is from Cross River, actually,
Okay.
Obudu in Cross River.
Oh, okay.
And my mother cooks very well.
Mm.
And one of the challenges I had going into marriage was, I was thinking to myself, will my wife be able to cook
like your mom.
as well as my mom?
Hey.
Because I was brought up on my mother's food,
Wow.
and it was so nice. And when we first got married, I noticed it wasn't as rude, right? But she did something very smart. She got my mom.
I know that story.
She got my mom to teach
Teacher, yeah.
not really how to cook, but how to cook the way that she cooks. Because she knew that was the taste that I had gotten used to.
At the point to
From
put the
childhood.
periwinkle,
And
at
the
the
timing, all of those things. And so she began to cook that way. And honestly, at some point I couldn't tell the difference.
Wow.
So the food is very important, because every time I came back from work, and I ate her food, I was just happy, right? That really made me happy. So going into the other room after being happy in the kitchen was no longer a problem.
Exactly, very easy.
Yeah, it was very easy. It was no longer a problem. And one of the major things is that we're friends.
Oh.
Okay? I know it sounds cliche, but this is the truth. The friendship. Yes, we can love each other, but there's a friendship that you can't manufacture.
That's right.
Right? So when you're friends, you can sit together and have a conversation
That's true.
and talk to each other, support each other, encourage each other. That friendship really helped me and helped her. So we were able to keep that spark, aside from the things we do here and there, like go to the beach together, spend weekends on the beach, and several other things. I know a lot of the things she likes, and try to slot them in from time to time.
But I know that you're not going to tell me that during this period you didn't have your moments that you were like, okay, today I will do something to this man that will, something. Maybe you are angry. Everything in 20 years. You can't.
Mommy, let me just appreciate some of the people that are here. Izebu, S. Brooks, Bisola, Lois, Kempsey Moon, Talia DBC on Instagram. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah.
Yes, that's in 20 years. You have your moments that you were angry, that especially even on the infertility issue. Maybe you want to share some things with us, maybe even about sex. I know it's not going to be smooth all along. So there will be some time that you had some challenges, maybe talking about sex, and maybe you came home, you wanted sex, and you were like, we had it yesterday, now what's this man looking for again?
No, I think it wasn't really about that. It was more of him just being too quiet or calm about the infertility issue. There was a time I even asked him if he had a child outside. Victor was never worried at all. He was too calm. He was calm. It will happen. It will happen. So there was a time I told him, he should just tell me the truth. Maybe he has a child outside. So that was usually the problem. It wasn't about sex, you know. He always has his way with me, so we never really had a problem with that. But
he has a mumu button.
Yes, he has a mumu button. But he was just too calm and quiet about us not having children. And yes, it got to me, and that used to get me angry.
Yeah. I remember we shared some things like that.
I felt he didn't
could it be that he had a child outside?
Yes.
But knowing him, we know
and
that.
at times when his parents would come or his family, I always took the anger on them too. Maybe they don't want to tell me, they're hiding something from me. You know, they were all so nice, so caring, so concerned, you know, about the whole thing. That was a major issue we had.
Before you go on, one thing I want our viewers to understand from here is the fact that they were intentional. This did not happen by accident. They were intentional about it. And that is one thing I want you guys to, that are listening and you are going through this infertility journey. You need to be intentional about how to make yourselves happy.
Sure.
So you went all out to go and learn to cook like Victor's mom.
Yeah.
Man, kudos.
That was really nice. And again, from what you have just said, sex is one major thing that is affected when the challenges of infertility come. That's the first thing it's going to affect, your sex life.
Sure.
And the moment you realize that, and you are learning from them now, you have to be intentional to say, you know what, let's leave all about, we are trying to get pregnant, we are not trying to get pregnant, let's just have fun. Let's have sex for pleasure. Not that you are looking at your time, you are looking at your calendar. So just be
the doctor
yourself.
said you should have sex.
There's a big chart on the wall.
And those times that we decided to just do it like that, I actually got pregnant those times. Unfortunately, I lost them.
Yeah.
So we took our minds off it and started enjoying it.
That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. Well, it's Valentine. So, what do you have for him or what do you have for her? I don't know whether you bought something because it's Valentine. I told you.
I brought myself.
Yeah, which is enough.
Which is more than enough.
Please,
But
I saw you.
Add to it.
I saw you. You
Add
brought
to
something.
yourself.
Please just bring it and let's see. Let's see.
Well, I have something hiding somewhere around that I brought.
Okay, let me help you. I can do that. Good. Here you are.
Thank you very much. Well, I just brought this as a token of love, of my love towards my wife, this Valentine's period, just to say, sweetie, I love you so much, and I'm looking forward to the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, for as long as Lord may keep us. I really love you, and I wish you a happy Valentine's.
Thank you. Thank you. I also got something for you.
Oh, good.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I was noticing some moves around the house.
Yeah, I know.
But before I give him, I would like to read out some things to him. Can I?
Oh, yeah, please go on.
Okay.
I hope they're nice things.
Can you help me?
Oh, sure.
I hope they're nice things.
Yes.
Well,
Listen, wait.
Okay. My Vicky Vic. I love calling him that.
Vicky Vic.
Let me remove my
I waited so long for a day like this to let the world know how blessed I am to have a husband like you. Thank God the day is finally here. We became friends 22 years ago, and being a couple did not change anything at all. I want to thank you specially and also appreciate you for your patience, tolerance, and understanding all these years. Your undying love for me is super amazing, and you have shown it, you have shown it to me in every possible way that you can. Everyone says I know that you love me, but I also want you to know that I also loved you back then and love you more now.
Wow.
Thanks for always being there for me, and most of all, thank you so much for being so patient to be the father of my children. Thank you.
My head is swollen. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
This is nice.
Lovely.
Wow.
This is lovely. This is lovely. You know,
Wow.
it's. I just love the couple. I just love them. I love the way they love themselves, the way they show it, and the way they carry themselves throughout the journey. It's been amazing. Honestly, knowing you guys is great.
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you.
And keep on loving each other.
Thank you
Keep
so
on
much.
doing what you know how to do best, and take care of the children well.
I will.
And again, I thought maybe you.
We have a question. Victoria Chibuzo Ihiachuku. If perhaps you didn't get as good as your mom in cooking, would that have diminished the love you profess for her?
Straight up. If she hadn't been as good as my mom, it would never
I've
have
changed anything.
Why? I made a decision before we got married that this was it. She was the one I had chosen, right? I had made that decision that I would love her till the end. And that's why I said, even if children didn't come, right? If anything happened to anyone, it would still remain. You know, so it had nothing really. The cooking was just icing on the cake.
Yes.
You know, that it just made it sweeter.
Yeah. That's
No, one other thing I want to point out again is this being intentional. People go into marriage now these days with, you don't understand how they don't even think about it.
yeah.
They're in love.
They're just in love.
No, it's Instagram love. Oh.
Okay.
They just want to
It's
show
it's audio love.
audio love. They just want to get married and show off, and the challenges that come with marriages they just don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's why 3 months down the line, with little challenge, they are gone.
Yeah.
In fact, some people they're waiting for just 6 months,
Yeah.
and the marriage is
Go.
heading for the rocks.
Yeah.
Only 6 months.
Yeah.
We waited 10 years, then another 8
8
years.
years.
It's tough. And you know, in this society, to have a boy child is very important. So we waited 18 years for our boy.
Thank you so very much. Do you still have any?
Well, just had to ask them your advice to people waiting who have challenges of infertility. What do you say to them? How do they keep the spark going?
So first thing, like we've been saying since, be intentional about your relationship and remain friends. Very important, just remain friends. And don't let having children become, you know, the most important thing in your lives. You know, you've got a life to live. Live it, be friends, and, you know, just have fun. The good thing is that Nordica is here to help on the fertility side. So that's not something you should worry about. Just come over to Nordica, have a discussion with the professionals in-house, and, you know, they'll be able to put you through like they did for us. And we're totally grateful to God and to Nordica for making this happen.
Thank you so
I
much.
think my wife will have
So
some.
I just wanted to say, no third party at all in your marriage. No third party.
That's key. No third party, but professionals are allowed.
Yeah.
Professional third party is okay. But third party
In-laws,
friends,
family.
you know,
Yeah.
just tell them all you need to do is pray for
Pray,
us.
yeah.
Full stop.
Pray.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really important.
The good thing is that the truth is that they care, but
They
they
do
don't
care.
know how to convey this.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they hurt the couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I also have a gift for them. So they've exchanged gifts. Can you bring my gift? Chukwudi.
Wow. It's an evening of gifts.
yes. also have a gift.
Wow. Wow, I can see it coming from afar.
I specifically chose this picture because I know that the picture was taken while you were waiting.
Yes.
And this to me speaks volume.
2007.
This one I love, and this. Because both pictures were chosen when they were waiting.
Yes.
So it's not that we are making the story up. So this is for both of you. So place it in your room where you'll be seeing it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And to remember all the time that you have one another till eternity.
Wow.
Thank you for loving
Thank you so
and
much.
thank you for loving Victor.
Thank you. We will put this in the other room.
That's where it belongs.
Yes, and on behalf of Nordica Fertility Centre, because you guys have been great guys, like she said, we've known you guys since 2009. And one way or the other, you become part of the family.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we are about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want people to become part of it. We are building a big family. So on behalf of Nordica Fertility Centre, we're giving you expenses weekend off for the Valentine. So at more house.
Wow.
Wow.
So
you
thank
just
you.
don't
Wow.
take the, please don't take the children. Get a nanny for them. Just the two of
We
you.
know where to drop it.
Just the two of you. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you so
All
much.
expenses paid.
Wow.
So
thank you.
I thought you were too. It's Valentine.
Should I? I should start. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi, olólùfẹ́, ojú kan ṣàlàdà ni, lọ́lọ́run wa, kò sóhun tí ó yà wá. Lórí, orí tèmi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, olólùfẹ́.
I'm shy.
Ojú kan ṣàlàdà ni, lọ́lọ́run wa, kò sóhun tí ó yà wá. Irú ọmọ tí mo fẹ́ ẹni kejì mi. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìfẹ́ láyé kí adánwò ni irú ọmọ tí mo fẹ́.
Let me also say.
And remove that from me. So, I think it's on this notes. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself. It's so good having you here, Victor and Ngozi. Yeah, have a wonderful Valentine's. And I wish all of you out there to have a wonderful Valentine's. Whether you are going through infertility, you are not going, it does not matter. Enjoy yourself. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and keep fit.